After all that,
Edgeworth.
I love it when he just says Edgeworth. It's like,
Yes.
just
Yes.
imagining thinking about him.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 4pixels. Coco is here with Binks, and we are here to wrap up this final bit of the third case of Ace Attorney.
Woohoo!
Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say.
Wow. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago.
Precisely. Ironic, isn't it?
Ho ho. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff.
You deny that what I say is true?
Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio One, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio One and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio One and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time.
Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands?
For instance,
Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body.
interesting. Let's hear it then.
Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio One, and you used the studio van to do it.
That makes sense.
Recall your testimony.
Okay, there was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me.
You used the van to carry the body to Studio One. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body in the magistrate costume.
Hold on, right. Don't forget it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator?
Of course Salmonella was a bleh. Of course Salmonella has to have been a conspirator.
And
Just-
they don't put him on trial for it.
Nope. The body had to be placed in the van and then put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that swan incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue?
No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose, you win. It was fun.
I win?
She's interesting.
Hmm. Um,
It's over?
so what happens next?
Hmm?
Don't me? Don't you have anything to say?
What would you like me to say?
Uh-huh. I lost? Something like that?
She already kind of said that. I just said that.
Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer?
This is weird. Who can say?
Uh-huh.
Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer.
Right.
But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright.
What?
That's BS.
Yeah. Order, Mr. Edgeworth. Your thoughts.
um, uh, mm, of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof.
Hmm? Edgeworth isn't sure.
Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving.
Ugh, what do I do now? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again?
Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again?
Uh,
You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time.
damn. Damn! To come so far only to fail. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez.
No. Oh,
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. He's too honest. I didn't.
I see. Very well.
Oh. Your Honor, I just thought of it. I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again.
It sounded so lovely.
Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes.
Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about?
Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body.
After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter.
Nick! Why did Edgeworth...
Who knows? He probably realized she did it too.
But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that.
Edgeworth.
I love it when he just says Edgeworth. It's like,
Yes.
just imagine
Yes.
thinking about him. I was with Salen Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home.
I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now. But if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick.
Right.
I was with Salen Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body.
What time was that?
We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal. So I'd say it was then.
When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio?
About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you.
That's just what someone who was stuffing bodies into costumes would say! Where were the other employees when you got to the studio?
They weren't there yet.
Well, then you could have put the hammer in the costume with Salmonella's help.
Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy.
Boy! The witness will continue her testimony.
The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent.
Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct?
So he says.
Did no one go to call him?
Remember?
Remember what?
There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm?
You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder.
You're always gonna have to press harder.
Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around?
The other way around?
You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez?
Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Oh, poor Bill. That's so sad.
Poor Powers.
Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue.
I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up.
What was everyone else doing at that time?
No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence, dead silence. Like now. Silent.
Hey, Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up.
The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it.
Oldbag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it?
She said because she saw him going toward the studio.
Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word?
Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact.
That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera.
She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer.
I don't think there's anything in there I can use.
I asked to be left out of the proceedings.
You asked to be left out?
Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned. And I'm really not fond of that sort of thing.
But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question.
Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us.
Covered for you? Or covered it up for you? There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning.
I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes.
The script and your direction notes.
Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen.
No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes?
Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything.
Why?
There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please continue.
Nobody was paying attention except Edward, apparently. Your Honor! I have an objection to the witness's last statement.
Huh?
Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Good job, Edgeworth.
Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense?
Miles Edgeworth, ace attorney. I would watch the hell out of that.
Same.
I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation?
I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me.
Shame on you, Phoenix. He should have figured it out himself.
Yeah, he really should have.
So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal.
Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason.
I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Wait, what?
How did you know about the injury?
How did I know? Sal. He told me.
Sal, the director.
You have to find something to peg this on her here. Or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him.
Oh, okay.
You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It wasn't the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers.
Yeah, it was weird that he said that. What?
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Pretending?
One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured?
I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong.
I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes.
Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured?
Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers.
Ah!
And when was he doing this?
Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered.
Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning.
We got her now. Woo.
Order, order! I will have order.
Witness, can you refute this claim?
Hmm.
Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez.
Very well. I have a question for you.
Uh, why are the real killers always so persistent?
Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing.
Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim?
I think you mentioned this in your Let's Play, but neither does Will.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
If there's a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive?
Okay. I have proof and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in murder. This is my proof.
This is the photo from before.
This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom.
His guilt weighed him down, no doubt.
However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change.
Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate.
Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star.
One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have?
Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine.
Mr. Wright? Please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder.
She had no motive, Your Honor.
What's that now?
It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense.
What's that now?
It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez.
What?
Why didn't she just call the cops, man? Self-defense.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him for all those years.
Uh-oh. That's her little breakdown. It's pretty calm considering.
Yeah, in fact, I think that may be the calmest in the entire series.
Yep.
So you did it. So you did do it, didn't you? Oops, sorry.
She said, yes, I am guilty. Her face looks so calm now, too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is a weight off your shoulders to have to stop pretending and lying.
Yeah. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel, Manuel.
I think
I don't know
it might be
whose
D.
voice this is. Is one of them Vasquez? Oh, that
Yeah,
was Vasquez.
I think that was her crying.
Oh, that should have been me then. Sorry.
Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm.
No! No! How could this?
It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and...
No! Manuel! Manuel!
Don't touch him! Miss Vasquez!
No! Please. Please don't die. Please. Was she in love with him?
I think she was, yeah.
I was always curious about that part. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. She's so composed. I don't know. I have respect for her for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean...
Except for the whole mob thing.
yeah. I mean, she's a great character.
Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez?
In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever.
I think when I was looking at all the characters for this case so that I could let everyone know what roles were available, I saw something in her profile that says, like, this is the only instance in which they say that the perpetrator is waiting and not that they've been arrested.
Oh.
Which makes sense
Interesting.
since it was a self-defense.
Yeah. Huh.
I see. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
it appears you have brought about yet another miracle.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It was actually Edward who helped.
Yay!
I think not, Your Honor.
It was me, Edgeworth.
It's a tornado. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle.
Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Woo, confetti!
Yay! Aw, he's so hunched over.
That is all. The court is adjourned.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez. But to think that he tried to frame me for murder. It makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... is it the...
I think it's that, right?
I think so, yeah. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids show and as a villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me.
No.
I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I.
So are we.
So are we!
Congratulations, WP!
Oh? Oh! Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and...
Uh-oh, he doesn't know.
Aww. Is something wrong?
No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth!
Where?
Edgeworth sighting. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. He looked so mad and mean.
Yeah!
How are we supposed to know you just wanted to chat, bro?
Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth.
Oh my god. You don't waste any time gloating, do you?
No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers.
Ah, Edgeworth. Your secret biggest fan. You think his heart is going doki doki?
Yes.
I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers.
Liar!
No, he's telling the truth, Phoenix. You just don't know it yet. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years.
Meet again?
However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings.
Ooh.
I love this part.
The hurt boy pose.
Beating all of us fangirls just a little bit.
Unnecessary feelings.
Yes, unease and uncertainty.
And dokies. Aren't those kind of necessary?
They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again.
About that.
Yeah. I don't think Phoenix can control that, you know? That's what I came here to tell you.
Mr. Wright? Is this guy your friend?
What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals. Right, Nick?
For now we are, I guess.
Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth?
And so the curtains closes on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again.
Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're going to watch it with me, right?
I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it.
You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant.
Fine, I'll do it.
Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again?
Wait, he's the pink princess?
Yep.
I forgot about that.
I wonder if they'll show his real face this time.
I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. You are so rude.
I know.
And that is the end of the third cave!
Ooh, it was fun.
It was fun. Like,
It was great when SideQuest was with us. We're sorry they couldn't be with us for the end, but they were great.
they were great. Side quest, if you guys are watching this, thank you so much for being here while you were able to. And as I mentioned before, you're always welcome back on the channel. And thank you so much, Binks, for joining us. It has been a blast.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's always fun to do Ace Attorney.
Yes. If you guys have not done so yet, please go ahead and check out Binks's channel. She has also been playing the Ace Attorney series. She's currently on the last trial of the second game. So yeah, check out all her stuff. She's got a lot of Let's Plays there that are all quality stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, then we will end everything here. Next case will be a brand new crew, so look forward to that. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time.
Bye.
You need to jump right in front of the rocket
Okay.
if you want to see the trick.
Okay, so do I just let it hit me or what?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. It looks a bit stupid, but
It works.
can actually allow you to get different paths and sometimes secrets.
Okay.